Beer time, beer time. Whoa. Yay.
That was a bit of a hard cut. I guess that music was meant to loop. Hey everybody, hi! I didn't expect to be doing this tonight. But the world works in mysterious ways, doesn't it? But yeah, oh, by the way, yeah. Turns out, Ridge Racer, not just the first one, just in general, good fucking music. Did I just find out? The only Ridge Racer game I've ever had and or played was Ridge Racer on the DS, and I genuinely can't remember any of the music from it.
Fallout 3 smile.
It's all good? Wow. Tunnel Snake's jacket, yes or no? I will pick it up. Whether or not I actually use it, we'll see. Tunnel Snake jacket gives you a melee weapon boost, but not an unarmed boost. So, we'll see. How many times do I think I'll die? I don't know. I think when it comes to anything that's going to resist me punching it, I'll probably be a little bit fucked. But I'm going to try to build around it. I'll try to build around it. I know Tunnel Snakes rule. I know Tunnel Snakes rule. But we'll see. Are they doing actual unarmed or just fist weapons? I'm gonna try to stay as pure unarmed as I can. If my raw fists aren't doing it, I might get some brass knuckles or something. But I want to avoid the power fist. I want this to be as raw, just your fucking fists pounding things to death as possible. And I'll pick up guns because they're money. I'm not gonna shoot them, they're just money. Hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good day too. All right. And with that out of the way, the timing. No. Okay. Let's get cracking here. Oh, by the way, before I start, I don't plan on doing merch for the rest of June. Just let me put that out there first and foremost. But I am in talks that have two branching paths. I'm in talks with one set of people that may acquire a very special item for everybody that they don't normally have. Or if they can't produce anything for me, I have connected with another set of group for a more broad set of items. So we will see where path A leads. If path A feels like a dead end, we're going down path B. Either way, you got some cool shit coming. But that's not this month. Y'all already had your fucking merch. Anyway. Video games. This might be a bit of a bitch to capture because it doesn't like getting alt-tabbed out of, so hopefully nobody needs me to do anything outside of the game because it does not like it when I tab out. I'm going to immediately tab out though. Hold on. Yeah. Alright, and I will... Okay. Just audio from in here. This radio, unfortunately, has to get turned off. Alright. I have a test save in here, but he doesn't count. Is the screen all black on... Oh, you know what? It helps if I actually go into OBS and capture the game. Did you know that helps? There we go. All right. Audio only. You have to hear the punches. You don't need the cutscene. This is not for people who've never seen this game. I see you over there. You gonna give me the ability to raid? Thank you. Thank you, Pat. I'll be the first one of us to actually get to raid you today. Bulp couldn't do it, Scorpy couldn't do it, but by God, I'll fucking do it. Choose sex. There's no yes option in there. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Boy.
It's a boy. A boy. We've got a son, Catherine. A beautiful, healthy baby boy.
I think that's a Johnny Bravo joke. No, Johnny Bravo wouldn't have overtly said a joke about sex. Oh, mama.
You've got a bright
Sex.
future ahead of you, son. I'm sure of it. Look at you. Look at you. Hi there. I'm your daddy, little guy.
VIP.
Daddy.
Don't ask me to tab out of the
You're a
game.
name, aren't you? Your mother and I have been talking. What do you think about...
What do you think about? All right, this man punches. I'm not calling him Fister. I'm not calling him Fisto. I can't call him Knuckles because that's already a character. My name is Hit Smack'em.
That's a good name, don't you think?
I think so, yeah.
Fits you perfectly. Looks like they've finished the gene projection. Let's see what you'll look like when you're all grown up.
All right, let's take a look at Hit Smack'em. Okay, that's a Hit Smack'em kind of haircut. Let me randomize. Nah. All right, hold on. 3, 2, 1, stop. I'm not really feeling it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, stop. Oh, that's way worse. 3, 2, 1, stop. That's even worse. That's getting worse every time I do it. He looks like a baby now. 3, 2, 1, stop. 3, 2, 1, stop. 3, 2, 1, stop. I should have gone with the first one. Oh, here we go. That's pretty good. No. Gotta have a nice side profile as well as a... Alright, hold on. You know, how about... Alright, we're getting in there. Alright. So let's start with the chin. We're talking... Tall. Forward. How about something a little sticks out a little bit more than that? A little taller. Yeah, alright. Now we need the jaw. Jaw is nice... Fucking... A jaw that can take a hit. Don't throw what you can't take, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Yeah. Alright. Reduce lip size to avoid bleeding. Nose. The nose, I think, is fine. His eyes. Hold on. What's some optimal I like to punch type eyes? That looks like a dude that would punch you. Alright, that's a dude that would punch you. A little bit dark. Yeah, right around there. A little bit flushed. Don't give him a blue tint. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Eye color. It literally doesn't matter. Alright. Hair. His hairstyle is fine. His hair color. What do we want? I think I should have left it on the yellow right there. Platinum. Okay. Oh wait, can I change his eyebrows? Where's his eyebrows? No facial hair. No facial hair. I guess I can't change his eyebrows. Yeah, weird. Alright, I could have sworn I could, but guess not.
You're going to look a lot like your dad. See that?
Somehow I doubt that.
Oh, very strapping.
It's a big world.
What's
out
this
there,
actor's
son.
name again?
All sorts of people. What about you? What
Is
kind of
this
person
Liam
do you
Neeson?
want to be? You're just
James?
Catherine.
Yeah,
James.
Liam Neeson.
She's in cardiac arrest. Start compressions. Get the baby out of here. Move! Move!
Wallace Breen. Yeah, that's who it is.
1,000. Come on. Hang on, Catherine. Hang on.
It's Qui-Gon Liquor.
Not a dead failed to meet my expectations that there would be
Look straight into the light now.
James and his chilly chatter. May your future's bright.
Adrios loves Roblox. Calm down, Tori.
Here, son.
All right,
Come on.
time to go fast.
Daddy. There you go. My goodness. Just a year old and your mother. Listen, kiddo.
Oh my God, that does
I
work.
like it when Daddy leaves you alone, but I need you to take care of yourself for a minute. You just stay here while Daddy runs to his office. You'll be okay, pal. I'll be back in a bit.
Oh, I should have done that. All right, go. All right. No, right there. Perception, not in. All right. My mouse cursor is way too fucking fast. Not charisma, not intelligence, agility. All right. Now we wait. You've never seen this part of the game?
You are quite the little explorer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Serves me right for trying to pin you in. Come on over here. I want to show you something.
What do you want to show me?
See that?
Uh-huh.
It was your mother's favorite passage. It's from the Bible.
What is it? Is it Revelations 21:6? I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of water of life freely.
She always loved that.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
Bible.
Come on. Let's go see if your little friend Amada wants to.
Okay, I gotta take a twalk. No, the truck! I have to take it into my future.
We experiment to prepare. We prepare to survive. Of course I missed
Oh!
Stanley, you turned the lights on too fast.
You blinded the poor kid.
Happy birthday.
This game's actually really good. I actually really like Fallout 3.
Happy birthday, pal. I can't believe
It's like really good and also really bad.
so proud of you. If
It's
only
that
you
it's
were-
that perfect blend.
I don't have to tell you how down here. So here you are.
Thank you.
You will be getting. I hope you.
Yeah, of course I like it.
Enjoy your party.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, you did fool me. I'm just
Having a
that's
good
great.
time? It wasn't easy keeping this a secret. Attention, everyone.
Are you
Yeah, I'm having a great time. That's awesome. Yeah. Give me the snack. Okay, I'm gonna eat the snack now. Where's my snack? Give me the fucking sweet roll. Yes, I love it. It's so good.
To talk to the birthday boy.
Andy, wait!
No, get a call. Get a call. Get a call. Get a call. Get a call from Jonas. Get a call from Jonas. Get a call from Jonas. No, no, Dad, no. Dad, no. Stop.
Daddy, I told you
Stop.
not to act all official.
How do you like that, Pip-Boy?
Wow, I'm really loving this Pip-Boy. That's really awesome. Thanks, Stanley. Give me a hat. Thank
I know
you.
you were
Where's my hat?
joking, but I'm not sure
I'm
anyone
fucking
else
styling.
Nonsense.
Oh, wait, hold on. I need a good look at this kid.
did. I'm
Hey!
and that's stupid.
I ate it.
Nice party.
So, what do you think we should
Besides,
call
that
our
friend of
game?
yours could
It's
use
gotta
a
be
reminder.
totally
This might.
What
You
birthday?
stop. I want to
I
look
thought
at
you were-
myself. Shut the fuck up. You wanted my sweet roll.
Nice Pip-Boy. What
Hey,
is
how
that?
about the Volt Dweller?
One of the 3000A models?
Who wants to go
What
around
piece
all
of
day
happy
being called a
birthday?
Volt
I think you have to wind it
Someone
up.
thinks
This
that
is
we
just-
are as dumb as you look.
Everything's
This is just
fine.
young Bruce Campbell.
Oh, sure, nothing to worry about. Me and Andy got her all fixed up again last night. Good as new.
I can't talk to Jonas myself.
Hey,
You
Doc.
can't fix anything,
We're all
right?
set down here.
Anyway, I'm glad you
Thanks.
can make it.
I'll send him right down. Hey, that was Jonas.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
How are you enjoying
Don't fucking talk to me.
Palmer? I
What are you doing down here, young man?
What are you doing down here, young man?
Yeah, I'm not a kid. I'm 10 years old. Ha ha ha.
Are you ready for your
I'm ready for my
surprise?
surprise. Can you please give me a gun? I really love a gun. This is right. Yeah. This is the only time in my life I'm gonna use a fucking gun. Damn, that didn't take one shot.
Just sure. You'll be fine. Good work.
Thanks, that's
Hey,
awesome.
Jones,
Take a picture.
Take a picture of me with the big game hunter.
Thank you.
Smile.
Do all Americans give their 10-year-olds a gun? No.
Hans.
Is there a problem anyway? So, I'm the overseer's daughter, so what?
I saw that.
I get any kind of special treatment.
Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. As far as I can tell, you're a perfectly healthy 16-year-old boy. So yes, you have
Yeah,
to go to class
perfectly
to
healthy
take your adult
16-year-old
exam.
boy. Looks just like
Go on
one.
now. You've got to...
All right, yeah. Bye, Dad. Okay, love you. Bye. Give me your bobblehead. Thank you. Open door. Open door.
Good morning. Stopped in to
But
see
you
me.
bitch!
Stop it! Leave him
Got
alone!
another one just like that in my eye,
Come on,
huh?
tunnel snakes. This little bitch isn't worth our time. Whatever you say, Butch. You're the boss. Tunnel snakes. Okay.
That's yeah.
Fine.
Well, you made it.
Yeah. I don't really have to take this test. That's what I thought. Let me see. Okay. Woo! Give me unarmed. Give me oh fuck. I don't know. Medicine so I can heal myself, and speech so I can talk my way out of shit.
Let's go.
All right, we're done. That's my teens. Time to be an adult.
Wake up!
You
Come
need to
on,
know
wake up!
these things. I'm not going to be around to hold your hand forever.
Come on! You've...
What? What's wrong? Oh, what do you mean? Da 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 da. Hey, baba booey, baba booey, baba booey, baba booey. Hey, that's right. Okay. Let me assign. God, my mouse cursor is just everywhere. Look how fast it is. I want to assign this to 8. All right, this is money. This is money. Thank you.
Baba Booey.
There he is.
Baba booey, baba booey, baba booey. Ha!
More roaches. Yeah.
Yeah, kill him, get his fucking ass. Fuck you. All right, new armor. That's money. Give me my armor. All right, go. So my dad left the vault.
You gotta help me.
Okay, I'll go ahead and help you. Yeah, I'll get your mom. That's okay. Yeah. Stop! What's happening?
What's happening?
You did it!
My-
Okay, bye. Thanks for the free jacket. So Dad left. He opened the door. He wasn't supposed to do that. Everyone's really mad now. Alright, kill the roaches, kill the roaches. Alright. Gomez. Gomez. Gomez.
You're lucky it was me who found.
Yeah. Thanks, Officer Gomez. You're one of the good ones. Bye.
Just go back to our quarters.
It's our only chance.
Why are you doing this?
I don't care about those guys that were gonna try to shoot me to death. They're not a priority. These roaches, however, high priority. Yeah. Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Oh. Get this guy's fucking clothes. What's in here? Nothing. Nothing of value. Go.
I told you, I don't know anything!
Stop in the name of the overseer.
Watch this. Fuck his shit up. Fuck him up. Oh, fuck, he blocked. You're fucked. Let me fucking... That's free shit. Bye. There's gonna be a guy in here I have to beat up too.
I knew you'd turn up sooner or later.
Kick his ass. Kick his ass. No, don't block me.
The overseer's
Gonna hear about this.
Big punch. Big punch. Big punch. Big. Block him. No. Oh. Oh no. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, thank you for your shit. Now, oh shit, I got a little bit lost when I came in here. That's right, okay. I will simply unlock this door. I will simply unlock this terminal. Above. Blues. Surge. Lockout. What? Fuck! Okay, that's, I've never actually fucked it up. That went perfectly fine the last time I did this in like my 2 test runs. Alright, where'd you go? Hey.
I hope you're here.
Just give me the keys to your office and password.
My God.
Yeah, oh, I'm gonna hurt your daughter, I promise. I don't give a shit. Just want to trick your stupid ass. Alright, open. Let me in. Let me in. Yeah, I gotta beat Fallout 3. I gotta beat it into submission. Open. We gotta attack him. Shush, shush, shush. Shush.
You did it!
Yeah, I sure did. I couldn't have done it without you. Why don't you come with me? Oh, that's a shame. Bye. They don't know how to get me. Oh, that's loud. Bye. Do a little quick save here. My skills and shit should be fine, so I'm good. Punches the living shit. And we can get a beautiful, oh, look at this beautiful vista. This beautiful. This game didn't age super well. Watch this. Alright, and then intense training to pop one into strength. Perfect, alright. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I actually should have taken points out of luck. Because luck's not super important when I'm just punching. Shit! Oh, what are you gonna do? Can console commands do that? No, but it's fine. It's not like it's that big a deal. I did a quick save. I did a quick save after though. Look. See? Oh wait, I have a save right here. Hey, cool, okay. Edit special. We take one out of luck. Like I said, luck's not very important. So then I can put one into strength, and then I'll get 10 afterwards. There we go. All right. Isn't it endurance that pertains to unarmored? I think you're right. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me check. Because I think you're right. Endurance and endurance. 3. Hit points, poison, radiation resistance, and unarmed skill. Oh shit, it is endurance that I want, not strength. Alright, you're right. Well, thank you for saying that, because you just saved me a lot of trouble. So then I want strength to be 6 and endurance to be 9. Whew. I'm so glad you said that. Alright, once again, I keep trying to sprint and there's no sprint button. Dooga-dooga-doon. Come on. There it is. Wait, did I get extra points? I definitely had way more points that time. That's weird.
With many blessings.
Thank you. Alright, now intense training. And now I have max endurance. So now I'm going to be punching with the best of them. Alright. I guess I'll go ahead and go through this town. I don't necessarily need to, but... My stats go to 11 with the bobbleheads in this game. I don't remember. Letter from Vaultec?
Happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creating.
Oh. I'm just checking if there's any good shit lying around. I do not believe there is. What was that comic I picked up? It doesn't tell me, but it looks like it's for unarmed. Hold on. No fucking way. Pugilism Illustrated. Reading this book permanently improves one's unarmed skill. I'm gonna save it. Because if I get
Greetings, my fellow Americans. It's me, your president. Punch the living shit.
If I get comprehension at level 4, I get 2 points. Yeah, it was meant to be, for sure. Let me in. Well, wait, hold on. Yeah, that's why save is, because I can get 2 points instead of 1.
Another newcomer.
Name's Lucas Sims, town sheriff, and mayor too, when the need arises. Yeah, nice town there. Pleasure to meet you. Message received. I'm looking for my father. All right, bye.
Staying out of trouble, I hope.
Yeah, I literally just stopped talking to you. You know what? Hold on. Audio, radio. Turn the radio back on so that I can turn on Enclave. Oh, why does it sound so choppy? Alright, well. Wasteland Wi-Fi. No, that's like the game glitching choppy, not like Oh, it's set in the post-apocalypse choppy.
Colin Moriarty.
Hello, Colin Moriarty. How are you doing, lad? Bye. I forgot I have to sell all me junk. Where's Crater Side Supply? Right there. Now I fucked up. Now I fucked up. Now I fucked up. Now I have fucked up. You have fucked up now.
Hey,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a paradise until my dad left. Yeah. Not interested. I'm just doing some shopping. What do you have for sale? I don't actually give a shit because I'm selling what I have. You can have this, and these. And armored all 101 jumpsuit plus 12. Wait, I didn't know I had that. Whatever. I can have this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Keep that. Keep that. All right. So now I can buy some shit from her because she doesn't have enough money. Do you happen to have any unarmed weaponry on you? You do not. You have a missile launcher, though. Plus 14. Alright, because I don't need those stats. Okay, I'll take that. Damn. Bad RNG on the armor. I'll take your stims. How about 3 of them? Yeah. And some mentats. Oh shit, but I kind of need the money more than I need the bullshit. You know what, take the stims back. Take the mentats back. Yeah, that works.
good hunting.
Yeah, okay, bye. Oh, where's that armor I just bought? Cool. Okay. Oh, I'm not wearing... Oh, no, I sold all my helmets. Fuck. Whatever, the armor makes up for it. I'm hit. Punch him or whatever the fuck. What did I name myself? I'm hit smack 'em.
Hey, you! On the edge of 17.
On the edge of the 17. Alright, now I gotta go back to Colin Moriarty. Call me Smack 'em. Hit Smack 'em. I'm here to kick ass and punch. And I'm all out of ass.
Ah, look at this.
Oh, fuck. You're not who I want to talk to. You're the racist grandpa. Fuck. Colin went inside. God damn it.
Come on, you piece of junk. Every day it's this.
Oh, you're just right here.
Ah, my new
Looking for my dad. Oh, yeah. Oh. I just want to find my dad. Where is he? Oh, yeah. You want 100 caps? Okay, here's 100 caps. Now, where's my dad? Oh, you're saying he's a GNR. Galaxy News Radio. All right, I go there. Wait.
Comes in fine.
Hey, Smoothskin. You need something? A drink, maybe? Anything? Anything at all?
Let me think about it for a moment, my good man.
Wait. You're not gonna hit me? Yell at me?
Nope. All right, bye.
It's
Be nice to Gob real quick. I might like to punch, but I have a heart of gold.
I give unto you these feeble bones. I present
These feeble bones go with many radiations. Many rads.
You looking for the mayor?
No, shut the fuck up. Uh-oh. That Brahmin's running away. That might be a bad thing. Alright. Do I have my quest set? Find GNR. Yes, I do. Alright. I don't know why she's yelling. Now's the fun part where I just walk. Ants! 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 Ant-Man! Ant meat! You're gonna see quick saving a lot because that's just a habit I have in Fallout. Chinese... What? What? I'm just gonna use it. Oh, it's just sneak. That's no big deal. It's been a... That's money. It's been a hot minute since I played Fallout 3, like, proper. So I don't really remember a lot of the, what a lot of, like, the bonus books do and shit like that. So I will need to be reminded. Alright, here's a classic place to stop off. Yeah! I know I'm trying to get this done quickly, but it's better to just let them do what they're gonna do. I'll just go ahead and, hold on. Crack a cold one open here and let them do what they're gonna do.
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Oh, he had money. Am I gonna get to him? No. He got shot before I could do it. Whoa! Whoa!
All they care about is fulfilling their own selfish desires.
Oh, he had some fancy lad snack cakes.
Agitators, shall we? There are, of course.
These bodies are money. I can loot them, and then I can sell all of their junk. I'm going to sell all of their junk. I'm trying to remember where to go. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got it. I don't care about America. Oh, I'm getting irradiated. Do I have any Rad-X? Damn, I don't have any Rad anything.
Boy Scouts are nothing more than
Alright, swim.
with access to some antiquated technology. Criminals who have had the audacity to claim this country's most important military installation.
Oh, that's mutants. I'll leave those alone.
Personal clubhouse. And don't be fooled, America. Those who have left the Brotherhood of Steel, branded outcasts, are just as dangerous, even more so.
Those are raiders.
And what about the slavers?
Alright, I can handle the raiders just fine. Oh! Oh, maybe I can't! That's because they're mercs, not raiders. Kick them! I got this. I got it. It's all good. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm kicking your ass. You better have some goddamn medicine on you. Why you running? Fuck. Stop running. There's a wall behind you. You gotta stop sooner or later, bitch. Hit him. One more. I got him. Oh my god, the radio.
Hey, you! 2 years. I am exploding into trees.
The punches look so weak and bad. That's because they just look weak and bad. Oh, I shouldn't have picked up those cigarettes. Those were worthless. They had no fucking stems on them. They had valuable shit, though. I can't really even pick up much more. Actually. Does anything I have increase my health without a bunch of rads? No. I'm gonna have to just take another stim. I got better armor, though. Wait, whoop. Any of this shit give me melee weapon, agility and endurance, but that's not any armor whatsoever. Alright, where's Allen Company armor? That's officially the best armor I have. I did not get a better helmet. This. Alright, nothing else I have can really be improved. I don't have weapons, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright. Shit. My health ain't doing so great. What? Where is it trying to send? Oh, I know where it's trying to send me. I was like, why the fuck is it sending me the opposite direction? Because I have to take the metro tunnel. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. Metro ticket. Perfect. I actually needed that. I'll take another one just in case. Alright, here's how I use these terminals. Yeah, the hacking minigame is dog shit. Cares. Gates. Cared. Harem. Raids. Stands. Nope. Lawns. Thinks. Hates. Nope. Brief, knife. There we go. Alright. And then activate Metro Protectron. Turn on Nest laser lights. No, I can't do either of those because they're broken.
Metro security protocol initializing. Station security grid offline.
Hey, bro.
Metro Central not responding. Threat level Omega. Lethal force authorized. Tickets, please.
The hacking minigame is just like Wordle.
Scanning.
It kind of is. Well, yeah, it kind of is.
Thank you for riding with Metro.
Alright, Metro. Yeah, riding with Metro. Go fuck yourself. Oh, I need that Protectron. Protectron. Bro, give me a hand here. Do something. Oh, thank you. Gotta use another stim. I don't really want their meat. I should keep taking metro tickets because they're useful.
Move along, please.
Okay. Oh, fuck, you little dick. I need some stim packs. I should probably have... Did I pick medicine as one of my things? I think I picked medicine, right? It was unarmed, medicine, and speech. Yeah, good. Because I'm going to need to be able to make some stims. Fancy me. Unlock security safe. Stims? 1. MetroGate, dirty water. Fuck it, why not? Caps. Laser firearms protocol. That's money because I don't want to read that. Yeah. I could easily take care of these by blowing them up with gas, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed to use a weapon in a non-critical situation. Shut the door, shut the door, shut the door! Oh, okay, time for Protectron. Where'd he go? Protectron? Protectron? Protectron?
Attention. This
Get him!
is now a combat zone.
Get him! Get him, Protectron! Do your job!
Including if remaining in the area. Is required by law.
You gotta know when to hold him and know when to fold him.
Lawful use of deadly force is in progress.
Get him!
Citizens are advised to clear the area.
Attaboy. And I'll take his money. Quick, you gun them down, I'll take their money. Alright. It had to be done. Like I said, you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. A smart fighter doesn't pick a fight that they can't win. Teamwork makes the dream work. Let's see. Oh, give me some Nuka-Cola, please. Shit, it wasn't this way. Fuck! Oh, this ain't good. This is really, really bad. Yeah, this is bad. Don't pull out a gun. Or a grenade. Put that grenade away. Alright, I gotta just run. I gotta just go. Go. Oh, just go. Oh, I don't remember where to go. Oh, it's this way. Roaches! You following me? Alright, they're not following me. Shit. Alright, and now from here, I go down here. Oh! Oh, I'm hiding. I think that's literally why that's there. I shouldn't pick up more weapons for selling. I think I'm good.
That's how we do it in the Lion's Pride, you fucking freaks.
Oh.
You don't need to worry. We're the best outfit in the whole Brotherhood of Steel.
Have your fill of
Just
death
watch what we
soon
do
enough.
to these uglies.
Hold on, I wonder. Ah, here we go.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry, brother.
No offense, but I'm a little busy saving your ass right now.
My ass. You're saving my ass. Hello.
Look, I don't know who you are, but you don't belong here. The super
Bitch.
mutants have overrun our brothers at the Galaxy News radio building, and we're headed there to back them up. You can tag along if you want, but keep your head down and try not to do anything stupid.
I'll try.
You've been living under a rock?
Yeah.
This is DC. The entire city is crawling with super mutants. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You guys looking for new recruits?
That's a negative. We've got too many local conscripts as it is. Most are undertrained and too damn trigger-happy for their own good. Our very own Initiate Redden is a sterling example.
Alright, bye.
Watch yourself out there.
Okay. Badly me. Floaty ass run animation. Oh, hey, that's free money for me. Thank you. I could take his power armor helmet, but oh, joyous of joys. In fucking Fallout 3, you need to undergo training to utilize their fucking power armor.
Just a stray we picked up.
It's really annoying.
Over on 42nd.
Welcome.
All right, it's the usual drill. Redden, you just do whatever Paladin Vargas says and keep your mouth shut.
Yes, ma'am.
It was like that too in New Vegas. What is it? I honestly don't remember.
They bleed just like anything else.
Who the fuck liked the power armor training? I think the only people who like the power armor training are like hyper purists that are like, but it's a war machine. You should have to get training to use it. But it's a video game. That's fucking tedious and stupid. So shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, bitch. Oh. Ow. Oh shit, I just took everything that mutant had. Oh, whatever. Brotherhood of Steel stands. Get fucked! Mutant! Punch him! This is not going great. Oh, I got him. Two arms, brothers. Two arms. Any goodies? Any med kits, health packs? Anything at all? Nothing. Oh. And? Y'all got anything of value around here?
On my mark.
Take your bullets.
Go.
2 arms, brothers. Whoa. I got him. You all saw it. Oh, I forgot about this part. This part's gonna kind of suck when I'm not using a gun. Oh, no, wait. I'm forced to use, hold on. Yeah, I'm forced to use this here. Alright.
Yeah, we'll...
This is the exception.
Now knock that off. You're wasting ammo.
This is the exception to my punching rule.
Stand down.
You need to sweep them here. You think those were all the uglies in DC?
Who else? Always count on my father to send the best.
I'll go west.
For those of you that know, you know. For those of you... Huh? Punch the behemoth? I can try. Watch her eat shit and die. Like that. Alright, here we fucking go. Victory! You got the Get High on Your Memory shirt? Congratulations. That shirt I think is probably one of the best shirts I've made. Alright. I am forced to use this. This is an encounter that they crafted specifically for this. Alright. I used it. That's it. I'm done. Get my ass irradiated real quick. Money, money, money. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. It's so funny. That has a little bit of value, but not enough to take it. Damn, rest in peace.
I guess it's my turn to thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, the area's secure, so you're free to talk to Three Dog if you need to.
Okay. You sure you're not looking for recruits?
I'm sure.
Okay.
You can handle yourself. I'll give you that. But let's not get carried away.
Let's not get carried away. Wait.
Looks like it's all clear. Unlocking outer doors.
All right. Looks like it's all clear. Unlocking outer doors. Three Dog. Ow!
The look on your face says it all. You're wondering who the heck this guy is and why you should care. Well, prepare to be enlightened. I am Three Dog, jockey of discs and teller of truths, lord and master over the finest radio station to grace the wastes, Galaxy News Radio. And you, well, I know who you are. Heard about you leaving that vault, traveling the unknown, just like dear old Dad, huh?
Yeah.
Met him already.
Yeah. Holy shit, you're that guy from the radio.
Yep, guilty as charged. I don't usually have exposure to the public like this. It's nice to know someone's listening. Makes carrying on the good fight that much easier.
Keep bumping the desk. Whatever you want. All right.
Imagine.
Yeah. People fight back. That's awesome. I'm amazed you're still alive. All right. The guys outside the Brotherhood of Steel. Who are they? That's awesome. I'm looking for my dad. Okay. If you can tell me where my how, tell me. If
you want to know more.
Look, Three Dog. If I find my dad, maybe he can help with the good fight.
I like what you're saying, but this is bigger than just you and your dad.
Damn it!
If you want help from Galaxy News, you need to contribute to Galaxy News. That's all there is to it.
Alright.
Good, because this isn't gonna be easy. Galaxy News Radio is my baby. I love it. I feed it. I keep it changed. But there's one problem. No one outside of DC can hear her cry.
Good, I hate hearing babies
Some
cry.
brainless super mutant thought it would be funny to shoot at the shiny round thing on the Washington Monument.
I see where this is going.
Yep, that shiny thing was our broadcast relay. Now it's Swiss cheese. Without it, our broadcast range is quite limited. Of course, the factory that made the relay dishes is long gone, leveled. As in, we're never gonna scavenge that part again.
Okay. This is starting to sound risky, but I'll do anything to find my dad.
It is risky. But there's something behind those eyes of yours that screams, I'm the one that can get shit done.
You know what? You're right.
Your dad had that same look in his eyes,
What about
too.
24
That's
dogs?
why 3 dogs helping you.
Why no 30 dogs? All right, how can I help? You got yourself a deal. Yeah. All right. Oh, shit. Should I just pump it straight into unarmed again? Yes. I don't really need anything in special. I'm only level 3. At level 5, I'll get comprehension. Swift learner. Gain additional 10% total experience. Science and medicine. Yeah, someone had a good. You had a good point, Cloud Kingdom. Nice. This could be really useful. You know what? Giving myself an option to talk my way out of shit is always useful. I'll take Lady Killer. Yeah, that's alright. Oop. Alright. I need a bed. I need a bed, so I'm going to fast travel back to Megaton. Yeah, Fallout 3 doesn't have the gay perk. Bisexuals don't do an additional amount of damage in Fallout 3.
You looking for the mayor or the sheriff?
Neither. Shut the fuck up. Oh, you know what? I could go to the clinic.
I'm Doc Church, and I run this clinic. Now, before you go asking me for help, you'd better know the rules. Rule 1, don't bother me. If you do bother, follow.
Alright, I'm hurt.
Let's see. Moderate laceration.
Alright, here's your money. Just fucking heal me. Okay, whatever.
All better now, you big baby. Can I get back to work now?
You're lucky I need you, or I'd kick your ass.
Well,
give me some medical supplies. Give me your fucking... Oh, I have no money. I have to go sell my shit.
Try.
Hidden? Good. Thanks, idiot. I lost karma in my ass. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that, give me that. He's a dick. I don't care. Fuck this guy. All right. Oh, god damn it. Let me stand outside her door for the next 12 hours. There we go.
Hell of a day, isn't it?
Oh, that's
Well,
you're goddamn right, Billy.
Someone new. Always a pleasure. Name's Billy Creel. You call me Billy, all right? I know Megaton looks more like a boneyard than a town, but it ain't all bad. Take me and Maggie, for instance.
That's great. You know, the guy who's voicing him right now, and also the guy who voices Three Dog, they do a lot of voiceover work for, like, Discovery Channel documentaries. Or, like, Science Channel documentaries. If you listen to, like, random-ass, like, I don't know, The Science of Mars, or whatever the fuck, on, like, Science Channel, it's gonna be, like, this dude or the other dude doing the voiceover. Three Dog's actor was in The Wire, apparently. That doesn't surprise me. Bye.
Oh, hey!
Hey.
Sure.
Alright, take this, and that, and this. Oh, you have no fucking money. Bye.
Don't.
Or, baby. I need to play Spore Out on... Okay. I need to play the video Spore Out on stream. One of these days. Oh, fuck. I need somewhere to sell my shit. Can I trade with the doctor for... you know what? I could do that, but I need more raw money than anything. I'm losing my fucking mind. I was trying to press exit to get out of my Pip-Boy when that would have just closed the fucking game. Hey, dickhead.
For Christ's sake.
Shut the fuck up. Alright. Let me see. I'll give you an assault rifle for a stim pack. Actually, give me like... I don't know. 7 stims. When did I pick up brass knuckles? Laser pistol, tire iron, Batman. Alright. Yeah, that's acceptable.
You done?
I am.
Good. Try not to.
Shut the hell up. What are the Raiders? Alright, let me look at the brass knuckles here. Yeah, I'll do that. They're close to breaking is the downside, but... What am I wearing right now? Talent combat armor. That's still the best thing I have? Yes, sir. Okay. Why did my chat just pause? Hold on. That was weird. Alright.
You want something?
No, shut the hell up.
You're looking for the mayor or the sheriff?
Stop talking to me. Alright, where was GNR? I need to go from the GNR building out to... Where the fuck am I going? Am I going to Rivet City? Museum of Technology. No, that's right. I'm not going straight to Rivet City because I need to fix the fucking radio tower. Wait, I could just go straight to Rivet City, couldn't I? I don't need to do this radio tower bullshit. Fuck this idiot. I don't remember which side of the river Rivet City was on. I could go straight to the place Dad is at if I really wanna. Oh, that's true. But I'm really, really weak right now is the thing. I think this is where Rivet City is, if I remember correctly. Alright, let me go back to Super Duper Mart. Oh, he's having fun. We got shy. Wait, that's a gun. That's money. Yeah, I know where... I roughly know... Uh-oh. Is this the annoying kid that comes and complains that ants have taken over his town? Don't fucking come near me, kid. Don't fucking come near me. Don't fucking touch me.
Those monsters, they're gonna get me.
What the heck is your problem?
Those things, they're gonna get me too. Can't stop now.
Hey kid, it's okay. I'm a big tough guy. I can take care of you.
You look stronger than all the other grown-ups. Can you protect me?
What?
Those big things. They're all over Greyditch, and they killed everyone. Please, mister, please find my papa.
I have to go.
If you look around enough in Greyditch, you might find some useful stuff people left behind.
Alright, I'm sold. Please, mister, please find my papa. That sounds like something a little cartoon duck should be saying, not that kid. I can't do a cartoon duck noise. I don't know how people do that shit. Oh, I thought that said shit outhouse. Ooh. Do 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 do.
Look at this. We got us a wanderer all the way
It's a
out here
grave
in
flaw of
Lone
the game
Dwarf.
design. You
You
can't
must
lock
got some
someone in an
important
outhouse
business out
and
here
tip
to
it
be
over.
wandering around.
Yeah.
Tain't none of my beeswax what
Tain't?
you're doing. But if you're interested in trading, maybe we can help each other.
Oh, hey, yeah.
We always need bullets. Takes damn near 100 of them to kill a guy.
Wait, you don't just punch him? Bitch, you only got $45 on you. Here, you can have this.
We'll see you real soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do 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 do.
Hello, Grandma Sparkles. I want to play a game.
Ain't none of my business. Hey, bro.
Hey there.
You got anything for sale?
Everything has its price.
Some call this junk. Me, I call them treasures. This dude's got way more money and way more shit. Nothing worth getting though. Wait, you got any helmets? No.
Sure.
Can you repair? Oh, that's actually not a bad price. You know what? Yeah. Repair that. Repair those. And repair that. That wasn't bad.
Bye.
Thanks, dude. You actually helped me. You are actually a useful NPC. Twitch has closed captions. Yeah, OBS has an experimental feature that connects directly to Twitch with closed captions, and it's really bad. It's incredibly bad. Y'all talking about Bethesda, Maryland? Uh-oh. It's time to put that book I found to good use here. Oh, falling down here would be bad. I swear to God, I could have sworn I just smelled like pine sol. Damn. That was weird. You know what's even weirder is I really wish I could smell pine sol right now. Pine sol? No. It's that that cleaning agent. Yeah. I've got good scent memory association with that. Oh, hey.
Name's Paladin Bale. What do you need, civilian?
Name's Lucas Sims. Can you teach me how to... Can anyone in there teach me how to use power armor?
Of course. But you'd have to secure the permission of Elder Lyons and, well, I just don't see that happening. So move along.
What is this?
You're standing in front of the Citadel. Headquarters.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine being a guard outside of a building and someone comes up and is like, what is this place? And you're halfway through saying what it is and they just go, oh, I don't give a shit. And they just turn around and leave. You'd be like, the fuck? What just happened? People do that in retail. They ask what something is and immediately just go, oh, I don't fucking care, and leave. Well, that's different. I'm talking like... Imagine you're like, I don't know. Secret Service. You're out in front of like the White House. And someone comes up and they're like, so what is this place? And they start to say like, well, this is the what, and they go, oh, I don't care. No, they go, oh, I don't give a shit, and they leave. I don't think I'd even be mad. I think I would just laugh.
Prime time.
Prime
18
time.
months, wow.
Wow. Oh, you know what? This is not where I wanted to go. But I will get close enough to get the map marker. As long as... No. No. No, no. No, no, no. No, buddy, you don't see me. No, buddy. No. Fuck! Alright, I got the map marker, but now I need to get the fuck out. Oh, I'm hit stuck. Where the fuck? I thought Rivet City was over here. I misremembered. Where is it? Across? Is it over here? Don't mind me just getting irradiated. Whoa, what the fuck? He's following me. Okay, he's scared. What the fuck? They're spawning on me. Yep. Alright, these are Brotherhood of Steel. They're not gonna let this go down. Alright. Yeah, just fast travel to the Citadel here. Oh, where the fuck was Rivet City? Damn, I can't believe I forgot where it was. Not down that way. Oh, I see it. It's over here. No, don't fast travel there. I see it. It was north of the Jefferson Memorial. I just went in the wrong direction. That's my bad. I'm just dumb. Hey, isn't the DLC supposed to be over here somewhere? Isn't Point Lookout DLC supposed to be over here? Huh. Maybe my DLC's not loading. Uh-oh. Further south? Okay. I'm not too concerned because I'm really not going to do it, but... Please stop shooting me. Boy, it's been a while since I punched something, huh? Get the fuck out of my way. Please don't tell the boss that I'm not punching. They know that I'm here. They have a good idea, and now they know. Okay, time to book it. It's okay. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Oh. Ow. Dodge him, dodge him, dodge him. All right, we're good. All right, Rivet City. I needed to be here.
Welcome to Rivet City.
Yeah, thanks.
Hold it right there. State your business in Rivet City.
I'm looking for my dad.
And who might your father be?
He lived in a vault.
Oh, yeah? You keep up this smart-ass attitude.
Let me in.
It matters because... So...
He disappeared.
All right.
Fucking prick. All right, time to make money.
This here is flak and shrap.
Yeah, I get that. Whatever. Let me see what you got. All right, let's see. I already sold my weapons, so you can have this, and you can have some of this, and then this, and then that, and then this, and then that. I don't really have much I want to sell him. Oh, you can have this. You can have my ant meat. My ant meat and my dirty water. And you can have a couple packs of cigarettes and my ammo. Take these mini nukes. Those are those are weighing me down like nothing else. Spiked knuckles, huh? In dog shit condition, no less. Alright, give me your spiked knuckles. Oh, you got helmets? No, and that's no better than what I have on now. I'll take your stims. Damn, I got all of those and he still owes me money. I might have to, you know what? I think it's the mini nukes. All right, yeah, I took the mini nukes away and he, all right. Well, I got everything I could possibly need off this dickhead, so.
Give me a shout if you know.
Yeah, repair these knuckles you just fucking sold me, idiot. And a cap for this, and a couple caps for that. All right. Bye. Alright. So now instead of regular knuckles, now I've got spiked knuckles. Now I'll keep the regular knuckles around to repair those spiked ones. Quick fix. Potomac attire.
Welcome to Potomac attire. I am.
Alright, what do you got? You got... Wait. You got any armor? Like proper armor? No. I mean, nothing that I want. You just have something that gives you... Oh. Sexy sleepwear. That's what that was. Nope. Oh, I could sell the rest of my shit, though, and just get money outright. Hold on. Why did I get, like, no more extra money by selling that? That was weird. How about some BBs? And some energy cells. Oh, that's too much. There we go. Give me your money,
Thanks.
moron. How about you?
This is a quick fix.
Yeah? Oh, more stim packs. Oh, I should get some Rad-X and some Rad-Away. What if I take all your stims? Alright, I owe you 600 caps. How about I just give you a bunch of mini nukes? And a couple missiles, and some electron packs, and some bullets. Lady, I really do not want to pay you money. Do I have anything else I can sell you? Shit. I don't think I do, actually. You can have this. How am I doing on stims now? 13, that doesn't seem right. Oh no, that's how many I bought. That's 24 plus 13. What if I just get 10? Alright, see, that's better. Give me those electron packs back. And the missiles. And the magazine. And one of the nukes. Okay. Alright, you know what? I'll give you 17 caps. That's fair.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Alright. Flight deck. I don't want to go to the flight deck. I want to go back inside into the main area here. I'm going to go from up here. It's easier. Oh, hold on a minute. I don't want to open that. That wasn't the place I want to go. There we go, science lab.
Can assist me. For the most advanced scientific center in the capital wasteland, I find your...
Look, Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this. We don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico,
the technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job.
It's a synth. Please. It's a synth from Fallout 4. It's a synth.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire?
What do you want?
To the point.
What do you want?
All you know of robots are those... You see,
here, look,
in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off.
Sounds like slavery to me, dickhead.
Nonsense! This is a machine we're talking about. Can you enslave a generator or a water purifier? But let's get back to your mission. He must have done something drastic. It will be no easy task.
No.
You're as ignorant as all the other You
better shut your fucking mouth, old man, before I put you in the dirt. Huh? Hey.
Hey there.
Hey. I'm looking for my dad.
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. Anybody coming?
Bye. You're not who I want to talk to. You're who I want to talk to.
This is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you?
Yep.
What are you doing here?
Where's my dad? Tell me now!
Calm down. Calm down. What are you doing here? James said you were still in the vault. Look, this is all terribly irrational. Your father just shows up here as if nothing happened. He walked out on us. I know he had his reasons. I know it was to protect you, but still. Project Purity was our life. It was the only thing that mattered, and then he just gave up. He abandoned us, and we were forced to move on. I've already told him that it's over. There's no going back. Project Purity was a failure, and he needs to move on.
Okay, I really don't give a shit. Where is he?
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault, James?
I left it looking for him.
Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you.
Well, tough shit.
Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already.
Alright, where'd he go?
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. I'm sorry,
Where is it?
It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, north...
I know where that is. Bye. Hey. Why is she giving that sultry hey to everyone she sees? Hey.
Everything looks okay here.
Yeah, sure, man. You're no longer useful to me. Goodbye forever. Jefferson Memorial. Yeah, bye. Found you! You're fucked. I'm stronger than you. Get fucked. Fuck. I'm not smart enough to open that. Is that a mutant shooting me or an automatic turret? Turret! Up! Watch this. Surprise! Surprise, motherfucker. One more. Punched his fucking arm off. Dog meat? Nothing. I'm looking for medicine right away. That's ammo, I'll take it. Money. Ammo is just money to me. In fact, I'll even take that sledge. I might actually drop the sledge. Uh-oh. Find this! There we go. Hit smack him, fucking him up.
Now try and hide from this.
Fucking him up. Oh, a quantum. Wait, there we go.
Game's over.
Put the gun down. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. Suck down one. Got a couple of these stems. Is this the right way? I actually don't think this is the right way. No. I wanted to go, yeah, here. This is the door I wanted. The rotunda. Alright. Oh, I gotta use the stupid holotapes here.
Even in Vault 101, my work on Project Purity never really stopped. To be honest, the gig sounded like pure fantasy. I'm off to Vault 112 to...
Alright, Vault 112. Gotcha, bro. Now I gotta just figure out how to get the fuck out of here. Whoop. Come back this way. They call it a rotunda because it's round. Because it's rotund. Thank you. Thanks for that. Am I discovered? Am I allowed to leave? No. Wait! Now can I go? No. Now? No. Oh, you are so fucking dead, dude. You're fucked. You are fucked. Oh, I punched the gun right out of his fucking hands. Go fuck yourself. Alright. Megaton. You know what's fucked up is I'm basically halfway through the game now. Hey, Doctor, can you stand up?
You'd best have can.
Need to buy medical supply. And by need medical supply, I mean I want to sell my bullshit to you real quick. No, sell that. Oh, that's nice. I'll just take that.
Done?
Yeah, I am. Bye. You can go back to bed now.
For a reason.
Name's Lucas Sims.
You looking for the
Mayor or the sheriff? You looking for the mayor or the sheriff? Yeah, the doctor's an asshole.
Welcome
To Megaton.
Please stand clear.
Welcome to Megaton. Please stand clear of the door. You know, there's only one follower I want, and I think people could probably pretty easily guess who that is. That was really weak. No, it's not Eddie. No, it's not dog meat. I guess people can't guess. We're not in New Vegas. Grandma is not in this. The sniper wife guy is not in this. You people do not remember who's in this game. Yes, Simpleton. Thank you. It's Fox. Friendly map marker? Oh, just randos.
Hey, Smokeskin.
Good to see you.
Good to see ya.
Thanks for not attacking us. Most people don't tolerate ghouls.
No problem.
We were on our way to Underworld, but we couldn't make it past the super mutants. So now we're just going to find our own place in the wasteland.
What's Underworld?
It's a city of ghouls. It's the only place in the wasteland that belongs to our kind. It's hidden inside the Museum of History.
No problem, Krusty the Clown.
Then leave.
I don't know why I only had a really rude goodbye option. Oh, thank God, I can sleep. Hey, Tone don't have super mutants look between 3 and 4. Yeah. I like the super mutants in 3. They look really fucked up. I know they're like too fucked up, but I like it. It's funny. I got bugs following me, but they are the least of my problems. Oh, fuck off. I hope I walk through a minefield so this asshole just blows up. The bug fighting a robot. That's none of my problem. Just walking across the wastes. There's the button that auto walks. I can take my hands off the keyboard for a second here. Oh man, my back. Ugh. Oh, they did tone down ghouls quite a bit too, yeah. Which is a shame. Get the fuck away from me. Fucking dogs. Props for not punching dog. I'm not punching anything because they're not worth the effort. This is a problem. Alright, just making sure I wasn't in danger. Those were not people I wanted coming after me. I gotta go out around this place. Yeah, 76. I've said my piece on 76. You know, it's... Oh, you know what? I was about to say... Or maybe I'm misremembering. Can somebody remind me, because I can't remember if it was the case or not. I might be misremembering. Can you make your character look like a ghoul in 76? I don't think you can. Boop, get in here. Alright, now I get to punch. Everything in here has to die. Alright. Alright, 4 core. That's something I can use to heal me. Oh, quantum. Huh? Damn, I beat the shit out of that thing. Tumblr today. Nice. Let me open this door here. Damn. Fucking him up. Alright. Enemies nearby? I see. Why can I not punch? Alright. Now I can go back to that bed. Oh, hey. Let me just sleep on these bones for an hour. I feel perfect. I feel good. I feel great. I can do this. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. Vault 111. I mean 112. Oh shit. All right. Where do I go? Where do I go? Not this way. Ah, my eyes. Is this where Dad is? Yes, it is.
Welcome to Vault 112, resident. According to sensors, you have arrived 202.3 years behind schedule.
There goes my splits.
Please redress in your Vault Tech issued Vault suit before proceeding. If you have misplaced your suit, I am authorized to distribute a new one. Once dressed, please proceed down the stairs to the main floor so that you may enter your assigned Tranquility Lounger. Please take a seat in the nearest available Tranquility Lounger. Thank
Okay.
you.
Tranquility Lounger. Okay, I understand. Alright, which one was mine? Unoccupied, this one. Alright. Give it a good old solid save here. Oh, that's right, I gotta put on my clothes. Vault 112. Still wearing this stupid welding mask. This is gonna be the hardest part, is trying to remember how to do the bullshit in this. Oh god, okay, here we go.
Hey there, sport. Beautiful day, isn't it? Say, you should go talk to Betty.
Is really the time for this? Hold on. Just keep pumping it into that. Alright. What else do we have, though? Oh, shit. Comprehension or Iron Fist. You know what? Oh, boy. I think I need Iron Fist. I'm gonna do Iron Fist. Oh, shit. I can't access anything in here. I forgot about that. Hiya, my name's Millie.
Hiya. Why don't you go swing that somewhere else?
Fuck you, kid.
Hiya, kiddo. What's the...
Bye. Alright, this is Dad. Alright, that's Dad.
Oh, someone new to play with. What good luck I have lately. I was just starting to get bored. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. Gee, I don't... And he's new here too, isn't... Oh boy, that makes this even... I knew you would. It's
I
a
knew
really
you
simple
would.
Game. All you have to do is make Timmy Newsbum cry.
I already did that.
You can? Good. You're supposed to be making... What?
I did that. I already punched him. Where's that little bedwetter? Hey, punk ass.
Hiya. Stop.
Oh, you're gonna fight back?
No. That hurt. Ow. You sure showed him, didn't you?
Yeah.
I suppose it wasn't the most cerebral way to deal with the situation, but it was definitely effective. Consider the game won. And with that, you win a prize. Your prize is one question which I will answer to the best of my ability.
How do we get out?
Interesting choice. Certainly not what I had anticipated. Simply put, you leave when I say so. This place is under my control and I dictate the terms. If I decide to let you go, you may go.
What do I gotta do?
An excellent question. Timmy was easy and therefore boring. I desire some real entertainment. The Rockwells are the picture of a happy marriage. Change that. Split them up without killing either of them.
If you can do that, I'll have a good laugh and then we'll talk some more. You can't do that here.
I just did it.
Now you have to pay.
Yeah, I got killed, all right. All right. Note to self, you can't punch her. I forgot that was a thing. There is an easy way out of here, and I have to try to remember what it is.
That the commies in China wish they had it as good as we do, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I know I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
I don't remember how to do this.
Good day.
Was it in the abandoned house? That's a bottle. Is there something in another room I have to activate? Or do I have to go outside and activate the doghouse? I have to go outside and activate the doghouse. Hold on. Maybe not. Maybe not. There's like this little, like... Hold on. Shit. It's like a little memory puzzle. There we go. Hey, fail safe. Activate Chinese invasion. That's right. All right, that's lore. I just need Chinese invasion. All right. Did it activate? Did it work? Did I do it? Oh, I didn't initiate. All right, there we go. What? Am I stupid? Invasion program. Initiate invasion failsafe. Review documentation. Oh, I have to review it. Provide codes military training. Then expected to sit yada 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 yada. All right. Extreme caution. Yeah, I get it. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Alright, and I fucked up his whole deal. So now I can leave. Go fuck yourself.
What did you...
Hey, it took off my mask while I was in there. I want Talon armor, that's what it was. And my helmet.
Son, you've saved me.
Yes, I did.
I was afraid I'd be trapped in there forever.
You would have been.
It's so good to see you, but...
It is.
But what are you doing here?
Saving your ass. Came to find you.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Good thing I showed up to save you.
It certainly is. And thanks to Dr. Braun, I know that Project Purity isn't lost after all.
What'd you learn?
I was right about Braun. I
Cool.
need to return to Rivet City and talk with Madison.
You going back to Rivet City?
Yes. With what I've learned, Madison is sure to see that we can finally succeed where we failed so many years ago.
Cool.
I'd like you to come with me. I'd like you to be there when we finally open the floodgates.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
Really? Coming all this way after me, I'd have thought you'd want... I'm going back to...
Alright, bye. Yeah. I went all this way to save you, but I have shit to do first. Like maxing out my unarmed skill, baby. Wait. Fuck! I'm short 1 point. More Iron Fist. I am athirst the waters of life. Excuse me.
Hello, sir.
Hello. You want to still have a magazine? I do. And I'm gonna go ahead and just read it. Skills. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Ooh, loud. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to immediately fast travel. All right, awesome, great. Rivet City. There are enemies nearby.
That's the way it has to be.
I got you, Dad. Damn, that was with my bare hands too. I don't have any knuckles on. All right. Rivet City. Oh, god damn it. What do you mean enemies nearby? What are you talking about? There's nothing here. You're fucking crazy. Rivet City. Yes, thank you. Hello?
Welcome to Rivet City.
I know. Put the fucking... What are you doing? Hurry up, numbnuts. I ain't got all day. He's not wearing Vault 112 suit. Plot hole. You're right, that actually is a plot hole.
Hey there.
Hey.
What can I do for you? Farewell.
Oh, there we go.
I told you it would work, Madison.
Hey.
And now I can prove it.
James, you're back.
And with good news. I was right about Braun and the Gek. If we can find one, we can adapt it to work with the purifiers.
Carrots?
I'd like to believe you, James. I really would.
Corn.
This is all just so...
Corn.
so sudden.
Madison, I'm telling you, this is real.
Sweet potatoes.
Talk to Braun himself. He confirmed it. Don't you see? This is what we've been waiting for.
I don't know, James. So many years have passed. Is it really still worth trying?
How could it not be worth improving the lives of everyone in the wasteland? What could be a more worthy endeavor?
She's in Fallout 4, I think.
Your passion, have you, James?
It's as important to me as ever, Madison. I know it's important to you too. Let's finish it together.
James, we don't have a Gek. I can get a small team together, but we'll need proof that it works before people believe us.
I know, I was thinking about that. The lab at the facility...
She's eyeballing her really hard there.
That we scavenged. One of them might be useful.
She's got a fucking
From
problem.
The last reports, there's no power at the facility. Even if one of those computers had a database, we couldn't access it.
That's why we're going to head over there right now and get things up and running as best we can.
You know, if it were anyone else asking me to do this, I'd have them run right out of Rivet City.
You know I wouldn't be here if I didn't think this would really work. It's time, Madison.
Damn you, James. When this is all over, you owe me a drink. I'll get the team together.
Yeah, drink a nice clean water, because you're getting your ass some clean water.
Did you need something?
Hello, son.
Hello. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Okay. Oh wait, I gotta talk to hello, Dad.
I need to get back to Project Purity.
Okay. Won't that be dangerous?
Probably. We need to get moving right away.
Alright, let's go.
That's my boy. It'll be good to work side by side with you, son.
Yes, it will. I'm sure it's a great honor for you.
Did you need something?
Oh, I'll tell you what I need. Money.
Hey.
And lots of it. Hand it over. Cover my mouth when I sneeze. I did. Have we found Dad yet? Yes. We have, actually. Now I am in Project Purity. And I assume I just go back into that back office. My map marker kind of disappeared. Right? Join the scientists at Project Purity. Yep. I cannot wait. Really? Go on, shoot me, I dare you. You fucking bitch. You fucking pussy ass bitch. Oh, and I missed. Get the fuck down. Where is he? Where is this motherfucker? Where are you?
No more game.
Put that fucking gun down. Put that fucking gun down. I could not wait in the air. I cannot wait in this location. Motherfucker. Where are these fucking scientists? You meet them outside? Oh. I did just kind of immediately do a 180 and run inside. That's my bad. Yeah, they're right there.
We can't accomplish anything until we can get inside. I hate to ask you to put yourself in harm's way. But you seem to have learned to handle yourself.
Yeah.
I need you to go in and make sure it's safe for Dr. Lee.
Well, that worked out fine, I guess. No problem.
Thank you. We'll...
Yes?
Alright, it should be good, right? Is it gonna immediately tell me that the threat is clear? Because I fucking... What? There's still enemies in here? Where? No way. Yeah, there's definitely like a single mutant in here somewhere. Oh, I might have to go in and... Yeah. Yeah. Let me go like the long way around. Just in case there is just... Yep, here he is.
There you are!
Hey, that's what I was saying. Was that the one dude? Was that the one dude I had to take care of? Oh, don't tell me the guys in here count. I bet these guys count. Fuck a centaur up. Uh-oh. Hello? My fucking stim key's not working. Why did my stim packs... Oh. Because I went into the, stupid thing. Surprise, bitch! I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Now try and hide from this.
I'm hit. Smack 'em. And I'm fucking your day up.
Fuck his day up. Any more? Oh yeah, I remember why I had to clear out under here, because there's like important story shit here. Yeah, here. Alright, that tells me there's still enemies nearby. Yeah, all these holo tapes they expected me to listen to. Which I will not, because I know what's on them.
Hello?
There you are.
That's my line. Is that it? We good? Can I go? I guess it would tell me if I could. Hey, there we go. Now I get to figure out how the fuck I get out of here. These super mutants are decidedly not super. No, the problem is my fists are monstrous right now. I'd like to remind you that my knuckle dusters got unequipped. These are bare fucking hands. I'm pretty sure if I put them on now, I would just decimate. Yeah, these are bare hands.
Are you all right? Is it safe in there?
Yep.
I'm proud of you.
All right. How did Mom really die?
I understand that you have reason to question a good many things I've told you over the years. But your mother... I've never lied to you about what happened. Not once. She died. If nothing else, please believe that she loved you very much.
It's sad. She died because she died.
Some people are in such a hurry. Did you need something?
Yeah, I need you to get the fuck out of my face. Oh, just wait like 3 hours. Alright. She died. Don't question me. She died. Those are empty. I was just making sure.
What?
Huh?
Here we are, where it all began.
Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will
give unto
him the thirst of the fountain of the water of life freely.
Don't you see?
Yeah.
No point in wasting time.
Okay. What's the big deal about water anyway?
The vault you grew up in had its own water purification system.
What do we need to do?
The project was abandoned shortly after you were born. Things have deteriorated here since then, and there's been some flooding. I'll need you to get to the flood control pumps and activate them so we can clear out the water and reach the mainframe.
Okay.
The automatic doors sealed.
I know where to go. I seen it. Boy, I sure hope the Enclave don't fly in and attack everybody while I'm trying to empty out the water. Calm down, dude! He heard me. Fuck, he heard me. What even is a mainframe? It's kind of, it doesn't really apply in this day and age. Nothing has like a mainframe now. It's a frame, but the main one.
Great work on the pumps. Hurry back, and I'll give you the fuses.
Oh wait, no, I gotta get the fuses first, and then the Enclave thing happens. Yeah, it's from when computers were a room. Now a computer is like the size of your palm, so doesn't really apply.
Did you need something?
Yeah, I need the fuses.
I know there's a lot going on right now. I just wanted to say... that...
Thanks, Dad. That means a lot. I wanted to say that... Thanks, Dad. That means a lot.
I didn't want you to think I hadn't noticed. Once we're done here, you can tell me all about it.
Alright. So some fuses?
Right. Here, take these fuses. Once the fuses are replaced, you'll be able to get to the mainframe.
Okay, bye.
Be careful, mice.
Be careful, mice. Don't really know why that popped into my head. You know what? Before I hit those fuses, take a quick power nap. Oh, gotta go this way. Huh? Oh, here it is.
With the fuses in place, you should be able to access the mainframe. No need to come back to the control room. Just head straight there.
Okay. I don't know where there is. Speak up, Dad. You're really quiet. Alright, here comes the Enclave thing.
Use the intercom so I can tell you where to go next.
Okay.
There are a few minor repairs still to be made up here in the control room. Why don't you come back here and give me a hand?
Okay.
Actually, wait. There's one other
Ah,
thing.
here it is. I knew it was in a
Jan
pipe.
says there's a blockage in one of the intake pipes. It's on your way back. Head back up to the museum level and give me a call on the intercom when you get there. Keep up the good work, son.
Thanks, Dad. I love you, my son. Do my chores for me.
Hello?
Dead by dawn, dead by dawn, dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. Pretty sure you'll be dead by dawn. Alright, here it is. Let me do a solid save here. You'll be dead by daylight. He threw a fucking grenade at me. I'm stuck. Oh my god. Oh my god, the Enclave did what I said they would do. What the fuck? Oh, those aren't real tires. I tried to pick them up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm trying to go up, right? I go up there? Alright, I'm gonna fuck your shit up. I'm gonna fuck your shit up. Get that fucking gun out of my face, you bitch. I love that. I love slapping the guns out of their hands. It's so funny. Hey, I'm gonna fuck your shit up. Hey, motherfucker, I'm gonna fuck your shit up. Oh! Tango spotted! How did I miss? Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go.
By the authority of the President, this facility is now under United States government control.
I do declare that this here facility...
and turn over all materials related to this project.
That's quite impossible. This is a private project. The Enclave has no authority here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave at once.
Am I to assume, sir, that you are in charge?
Yes, I'm responsible for this project.
Then I repeat, sir, that you are hereby instructed to immediately hand over all materials related to the purifier.
I'm sorry, but that's...
Furthermore, you are to assist Enclave scientists in assuming control of the administration and operation of this facility at once.
Colonel, is it Colonel? I'm sorry, but the facility is not operational. It never has been. I'm afraid you're wasting your time here.
Sir, this is the last time I am going to repeat myself. Stand down at once and turn over control of this facility.
Colonel, I assure you that this facility will not function. We have never been able to successfully replicate test results.
I suggest you comply immediately, sir, in order to prevent any more incidents. Are we clear?
Yes, Colonel. Do whatever you want. There's no need for more violence.
Then you will immediately hand over all materials related to this project.
aid
Colonel,
us in
you need
making
to
it
shoot an
operational
innocent.
at once. Very well. Give me a few moments to bring the system online.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
I
Excuse me, can you let me in,
grow
please?
tired of waiting.
Sir, please, can you let me in?
Another minute, and I'll be done.
Oh no! Oh no, Dad! Oh my God! Oh my God, no! Oh, he's kicking his little feet. Oh, he's struggling. Oh, he's dead.
James. He's gone. We have to get out of here. They'll be coming for us next. We've got
What
to
a pointless
evacuate
thing.
now.
He died for nothing. Alright. Lead the way.
There's an old tunnel that will lead us out of here to some...
You know what? Yeah. Let's go. Oh, I gotta escort her out. This is gonna be fun.
Yes?
Yes.
We need to escape while we can.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
wander off. We're going to need you.
Oh. Where to?
This tunnel leads to the Citadel.
Oh, okay. You have a plan?
We need to keep everyone together, and we...
Yeah, let's just get going.
There's a locked door up ahead. I can open it, but it'll take some time.
Hey! Dude, you might not want to stand in front of that door.
America the Magnificent. This is President Eden, and I was hoping we could talk. We live in an age of poverty, greed,
I guess this is no big deal.
destruction. Indeed, the very seat of the federal government, Washington, D.C., has been reduced to what is now known as
Oh, hey. Impact. And, human arm. Look, I get that it's hard. What? Ah, there we go. Alright, if you're out of here, then let's go. I decked him! Get the fuck out of my face, bitch. Get the fuck. We all here? Alright, we're good so far.
We can't go any further. We need to stop.
Why?
Garza has a heart condition. He needs medicine or he may not make it. I'm not moving until he gets the medicine he needs.
Okay, what?
I don't have sufficient medical supplies with me, or else this wouldn't be a problem. If you have any stim packs, I would ask that you hand them over.
All of them? Maybe we should just leave him behind. He's slowing us down. What do you think? Help him out or leave him behind? Help or leave? Help or leave? I'm asking you guys. He's a nerd. Dump him. Help, help, help. Kill. Leave, leave. Help. 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 I'm seeing way more help than leave, so we'll help him. We'll help him.
Yes, this looks to be enough. He'll need medical attention once we've reached the Citadel, but this will get him there. Thank you.
5 stim packs! Bitch! Bitch, are you for real?
Garza, here. This will help you to feel better. Once we reach the Citadel, you'll be fine.
If this dude dies, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm feeling better already. Let us continue and not waste more time here.
Let us continue.
If you'll do it, we'll continue.
That's not how a person talks.
Hello again, America. This is John Henry Eden, your
All right, let's go. I got more ghouls to deck. Are you following? Yes, you are. Okay. Ah, those aren't ghouls. Come on. Eyebot helmet. Ooh, hold on. Just run. Just run. Everybody just run. Get the fuck out of my face. I'll take that, and I'll take that, and I'll take that. Lay down, clown. Oh, wait. Hold on. Is there medicine in here? There's some jet. I don't really want that, but... Yes. Got one of those stim packs back. I think that dude with the heart condition's dead. Oh, well.
I can't find anything.
Oh, well. It can't be helped. The Enclave guy was in an area I literally couldn't reach. Fucking ghouls. Come on. Come get some. What do you mean watch where I'm swinging? I'm gonna fucking kill that dude myself. Hello. Yeah, that's their problem. Boom. Now we're here. We're low on dads. Hello.
Need something, friend?
Yeah, I need to get in.
I am Dr. Madison Lee. I have people with me in need of shelter. You must allow us access at once.
People.
I'm sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized civilians allowed inside the Citadel. You'll have to leave now.
Hey there. I hear we have you to thank for getting us up and running again. Bye.
He's deluded.
I know you're in there. I know you can hear me. You open this goddamn door right now.
Whoa. Last one in's a rotten egg. Oh, level up. All right. Well, the world's my oyster now because I don't have to level unarmed anymore. So.
Incoming.
Oh. Thank you for the little raid there. An Ethernet cable. So how about a little bit of medicine? Probably a little bit of sign. No, you know what? I'm just gonna. I haven't really needed that. 50 in the medicine. Man, I really don't. Okay, speech. In fact, 45 in that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Can I just keep... How many ranks of fucking Iron Fist can I get? Does anyone actually know where this caps off? Is it like 5? $10? Oh, wait, no. Yeah, no, that adds points to my unarmed, which is already maxed. That's true. I could just get bloody mess. Although damage resistance would be good. Okay, actually, I kind of want damage resistance. I'm already hitting pretty fucking hard. There's 5 points of unarmed damage. That's true. As unarmed damage, not unarmed skill. I think I'm actually hitting hard enough right now that I'm fine. So I might take the damage resistance here. Yeah, that's probably fine. Although 5 flat unarmed damage is pretty good. You know what? I might be able to get power armor here and then just not have to worry about damage resistance. Oh, okay. I guess I don't matter. Dick.
Don't talk down to me, Lions. I had nowhere else to turn. You must help us. Project Purity has been overrun.
Yes, I've heard reports of an incident there. What details can you give us?
The Enclave. They've attacked Project Purity. James is dead. There may be more. I don't know. You have to do something.
Then it's as we feared. Medicine, I'm sorry this happened. I wish we could have done something.
Then do something now. They've taken over the Purifier. Lions, they cannot be permitted to have control over it. It's not right.
No. Calm down. You know as well as I do that the Purifier doesn't work. It's useless to them. Perhaps it's time to walk away.
That's
Walk
not true.
away.
James, he found what's been missing. We know how to get it running.
Is that so? Does the Enclave know this?
No, I don't think... I don't know. I just don't know what's happening anymore.
All right, Madison, it'll be okay.
I'm gonna check my watch here.
Now, this is James's son, I presume?
James's son.
Yes.
Yeah, well, how do you know? You walked right the fuck past me.
Computer, something to locate equipment. Please help him.
Very well, we'll sort this all out.
I need to rest, lie down or something. This is just too much. Rothschild should help you.
He just doesn't want to look at
His
me.
Brotherhood. I've never trusted them. Be careful what you tell them.
But he's right there.
Result of the latest scan.
He was right there. And he's still not talking to me. Hey, asshole.
You have my condolences. Your father was a good man.
I found a tag. You want it?
Talk to Scribe Jameson.
All right.
Glad to be of help.
Can someone teach me how to use the power armor?
Why, yes. Yes, indeed, there is someone. Our intrepid Paladin Gunny trains all initiates in the use of power armor. When they're ready. Under the circumstances, I will allow Gunny to train you as well.
I will allow
You'll find him in the bailey. I will send word that I've given my approval.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Oh, my side. Oh, that hurt. Oh, oh my God, that fucking just killed me. Oh, my side. Oh. I punched him so hard it hurt me. Oh. God damn, dude. Holy shit. That was so fucking funny. Oh. Alright, where's Mr. Gummy or whoever the fuck that'll teach me to use power armor? Did I get on my map? Did I get a quest or something for that? No. Who's fucking losing their shit and running? Oh, it's Alex Dragon. I know it says Dargan, but Dargan is stupid.
Welcome.
Hey. Hey.
Hail to you, son of James.
Oh no, I hit him in the head. Now he thinks he's in the 14th century.
Under the circumstances, I will allow...
In the Bailey. Okay, in the Bailey. I promise not to knock you upside the head again. Once was quite enough. Did I start from the beginning? Yeah. Yeah. This is not a speed run per se. It's a fast run. It's fast, but there can be more speed.
You honor us with your presence here.
Right? I proved how strong I was by knocking your leader out like a fucking sack of potatoes. A-ring? Where's the Bailey?
The Brotherhood is out.
It's the Great Hall, Lab, Armory, Courtyard, the Den. Yeah, where's the Bailey? My friend. Barracks, B-ring. Hospital. Isn't the Bailey the courtyard area? Fuck, I think you're right. Hospital. Oh no. No, no, no,
Hail
no.
to you, stranger. I am Squire Maxon, loyal servant of steel. It is an honor to make your acquaintance.
You're gonna grow up to be a racist.
You seem nervous, kid. Do I make you nervous?
Well, yes, sir. If I may speak my will, you do, sort of. We do not have many guests in the Citadel. And when we do, they're usually visiting brothers. Outsiders are not to be trusted, so says the Codex. Shield yourself from no—
Oh, shut the fuck up. You can trust me.
It's not personal. The Codex says—
Shut the fuck up.
But it also—
Shut up.
Elder
Shut.
Very well.
Shut up.
I'm on your side.
The kid took a punch a lot better than the elder. It's a little fucked up now that I think about it. Oh, this child took a punch a lot better than that old man I hit in the back of the head. Oh, God. In the Bailey, you can learn to use this shit. Where is the Hale? Where is the motherfucker that trains me? Vale has power armor with no helmet. Was it the dude I walked past a second ago? Oh my god, I think it was. It was, wasn't it?
Roger that. Welcome.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
Is it you?
Need something, friend?
No. Glade, Kodiak. I'm looking for Gunny. Gunny. I think it's Betty time. Yeah, it might be Betty by time. I might have to. Hey, wait a minute. Aren't I supposed to turn these into you?
Hail. Name's Greg. Heard about that mess over at the Purifier.
Hey, can someone train me power armor?
I'm sure Gunny could train you.
Okay. Bye. Alright, let me take a nap. It's 5 p.m. It ain't Betty Bye time. No, not you.
I'm listening. What's your technical assessment of this new
Vargas. No. Motherfucker.
I have those results you asked for. I sent them over to your station.
Jameson. This has been the hardest thing I've done so far, is finding this one asshole. Where is he? Holcomb. Shit. No. 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 Motherfucker. You know what? Hold on.
You honor us with your presence.
Yes, I know I do. All right, here we go.
Nerve to interrupt. Oh, my apologies, stranger. I thought you were one of these worthless initiates.
Yeah.
I swear these kids would be lost without me here to powder their asses.
Teach me how to use power armor.
Heard you were coming. Yeah. Anyway, you ready for this? Now look, to wear power armor,
Heard you were
first
coming.
thing you need to do is relax your muscles. Let the suit do the work, okay?
Huh?
Now you.
Hey, I ain't Master Chief. My suit shouldn't be doing that. Alright.
What aid can I offer you, outsider?
I gotta go. Alright, now how do I get power armor? Without having to go back and find a dead man.
Hail.
Hail. No, I think it's sunny outside. Thank you. Spawn it in. No, I'm not gonna cheat. Pulling that guy to me, I don't count as cheating because he was here somewhere. I just could not fucking find him. Spawning an item is definitely cheating. Is Enclave armor in that sewer? That's true. Oh, but the Enclave armor is a lot shittier.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
You know what I could do, actually. Can I? I don't think I can travel from in here. Hold on. I'll show you what I can do. I simply go to the GNR building. Oh shit! Where? 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 Oh, get fucked. Alright. Are there any... I think their bodies might have been cleaned. Fuck. Their bodies have been cleaned up. God damn it. Fuck, fuck. Oh! Oh, fuck yes. What do you mean cut it out? You wasn't using it? Alright. Now, where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's in dog shit condition. And it's worse than what I'm using. I lose agility. Wow. You know what? You know what? I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm already strong enough.
That was some nice shooting, taking out a behemoth single-handed.
If I reverse pickpocket, I get full durability? Really? Does that work? Where'd the helmet go?
Alarm, we're being robbed.
I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, I don't need it. It's actually worse. I didn't realize it was so much worse. I probably should get it fixed here soon, though. I'm still not using any weapons, by the way. Or I'm not using like any knuckle dusters. It's still bare hands. All right. So I'm running out of time here. Like literally, like in the real world, I'm running out of time. So I'll go ahead and come back here. I'll probably talk to them, figure out what the hell they want me to do, and then I'll... Oh, they're gonna tell me to go to that one vault where the Gek is. I meet Fox. You get the Gek. You take it to the purifier. No, you meet Fox. You get the Gek, and on your way out, you get jumped by the Enclave, and I might be able to get the president to explode.
That I am sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
The world has lost one of its few.
Yeah, you know what? Thanks for your sympathy. Yeah. I need to find a Gek. Yeah. You know how to find one? Okay, thanks for the help. Bye. My man. Can I teleport from here? Where does it want me to go? Wait, what? Use a Vault-Tec computer. This is... Oh, fuck. I gotta go use a computer.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
Thank you. Love Liberty Prime.
You honor us with your presence here.
Oh, I know it. Shut up, baby. I know it.
The brother.
The brother. Area vault listings. Is it 108? Project goals. Equipment issuances. Was it Vault 92? Equipment issuances. Vault 76, huh? "17 control vaults that will operate exactly according to the plan dictated by the marketing material." Yeah.
Good is at your service.
Was it 87? Yeah, it was 87. You didn't know 76 was canon control vault? Yeah. They didn't just make that up. Oh, whoops. They didn't just make that up for the game. It was already in the lore. Just a control vault.
Hail.
Hail.
It's one of the few pieces of canon they actually thought to listen to when making that fucking game. What? Oh, I gotta go talk to somebody again.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
Is that the Vault of 87? Thank you. Thank you for that.
You honor all this time spent acquiring technology. That is not acceptable.
Hey. Hey.
Ah, you're back.
Yeah, Vault 87 has it.
Follow me. I'll show you what I can about Vault 87.
There's just $18 in there.
This map shows the locations of all.
Oh, yeah. What's difficult about it? It's highly irradiated. That's awesome. How to get through the radiation?
Quite simply, you don't.
So that's it. I'm screwed.
So, there is.
No, not fucking little lamplight. Oh, I forgot about fucking little lamplight. Fuck them kids.
Attempts. Perhaps. I wish.
Fuck.
Scribe Rothschild wanted those AMS tests done right away, so I went ahead and handled it for you.
The anti-mass spectrometer tests? Don't fuck with that shit. You'll start a resonance cascade. This planet's already fucked. Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright. So, come here. Oh, I do not want to do little lamplight. Oh, I fucking hate little lamplight. Oh, I fucking hate little lamplight. Alright, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna do a quick BRB and then we're gonna wrap it up. Because it is getting late and we do need to do the raid. Because Scorpion Wayne will be on Polygon in about half an hour. Actually, no. We're not going anywhere. If we still have half an hour, what the fuck am I talking about? Well, I'll keep playing right up to the line and then we'll go. Can't raid them? No, they went in and changed that so that I could go raid them. I don't want to punch a robot. So we're gonna keep going. Just everyone yell at me if we're about like. I'm gonna try to stop about, I don't know, 5 minutes before. Make sure to stop me about 5 minutes before midnight. Don't let me go any later than that. We're gonna fuck some shit up today. We're gonna fuck some shit up now. We're gonna fuck their shit up. They'll die. I'll punch them until they die. They'll cry. I'll punch them until they cry. I'll punch the living shit now today. Kaboom, kaboom. Oh, you want a tango? Oh, you want to fucking go? Come on, happy feet. Wombo combo. Oh, Luke's got to change. Oh! Fucking bitch. Got a fucking glass jaw. You know, I'm feeling frisky. Let's go. Oh! fucking go. Oh, you got an automatic weapon. I got fists. Alright, this guy's a little bit stronger than the other guy. Nope. I really am just like smacking their bitch asses down to the ground. They are nothing. They are nothing to me now. Oh, I hate little lamplight. I hate little lamplight. I hate little lamplight. It fucking sucks my ass. The characters are awful and the place is really bad. Oh my god, I fucking hate little lamplight. Oh. What's bad about it? Everything. All of it. All of the time. Everything everywhere at the same time is terrible. When you're in little lamplight.
Hold it right there, mister. Don't take another step or we'll blow your fucking head off.
What is it, a Call of Duty lobby in here?
I ain't kidding. You're not supposed to be here, so you better leave.
I need to go to Vault 87.
You don't want to go there. We got pretty good at keeping them out.
So you know the way.
Yeah, I do. But it's through Little Lamplight, and you're not getting into Little Lamplight. Guess you better find some other way, Mungo.
Whoa, hey, whoa, we don't use that word. Can I come in?
Hell no! No Mungos allowed!
Whoa! Forget it. Be around.
Yeah,
alright. Let's see. Do I have enough? Let's see. I need... Do I have any clothing that improves speech? Speech plus... Alright. Speech plus 2. And do I have any mentats? Oh, what the fuck? I don't have any mentats? Oh, I could have sworn I did. Fuck. Wait. Or am I missing them? No, I don't. What the fuck? I could have sworn I picked up some mentats. God damn it.
You again?
Can I come in?
Well, okay. But you better not be lying or else we'll shoot you.
Oh, thank God. Alright. 4 luck. 4 luck, everybody.
Happy birthday, Sticky. Sorry I missed your party.
Yeah, me too. Sorry.
Alright. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Watch it.
Shut up, kid. I feel like I usually don't pass that test. That speech test. And have to go through some bullshit to get in. Fuck them little rascals.
Watch it.
Fuck you, kid. Alright, how do I get in here? Let me in. How do I get in? You cannot use this now. What in the fuck do you mean I cannot use this now? Hello? What? Remember, you have to specifically ask a person the mayor requests to open the door. God damn it. Whoa, that was weird. The game really wanted to crash for a second there.
Hey, are we letting Mungos in now?
Yeah.
So, what's so cool about you, Fancy Pants?
The mayor let me in. I'm not here to cause any trouble.
Always.
I need to get to Vault 87.
We don't go there.
I don't care.
We don't go there. It's bad back there. See?
Ooh, you see like the
hell
the
is RJ
options are like freaking out. Oh, what the hell's going on? Mayor let me in. You go in there.
We don't.
What the
so
fuck?
Dumb. Practically nothing ever tries to come through the back gate. I wish I was at the front gate, which could have. Maybe he had a weapon drawn. Maybe I just decided I didn't like.
All right. Oh my god. I gotta go back and talk to fucking McCready. I'm gonna yeah, do that real quick. Hey.
Okay, so you get in, but you don't make any trouble in.
All right. Don't call me a shit butt.
With many blessings.
Whoa! Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Whomstever you were.
Good.
All right.
Go with many blessings.
Go. He's gonna keep saying that, isn't he? I need to get in there.
You don't want.
Go with many blessings.
It's the only way that the other door hasn't worked since before I was here. I'm the mayor, not a. Maybe he's back there.
With many blessings.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go.
Okay. Come on.
Yes, I want to use murder pass. I'll murder everything I pass.
With many blessings.
More shoe. There we go. I mean, not more shoe Guonum. Wow, fake fan, huh? Look, it's almost midnight. I'm fucking tired. I'm dealing with these. I'm dealing with the kids. You know, I got a lot going on right now. I can't think clearly. Damn. Go. Whoa. Thank you. You fucking little shits. You're lucky I didn't install the Kill Kids mod. Whoa. Uh-oh. The game is having a problem. Why is there 2 quest markers? What? Enter Vault 87. What? Oh. Okay, yeah, the game's freaking out. Hold on. I know I'm like ending soon, but I think I need to... I think I'm about to restart the game. I need to restart. I really do, because I can get a little bit further, but the game seriously was having a conniption. Alright. Please, game, just get auto-detected in OBS. Thank you. Oh, thank God. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Whoa. Oh, it's a fucking mutant. That's all that's back here? Is this all the big deal was? Whoa, he killed his friend. Get the fuck out of here. You're shit. Fucking clown. Yeah, take that and take that and that and that. I'll take all that. I didn't really need that, but I'll take it anyway. Oh, I don't have any good lock picking. Fuck. That's where my next points are going, is lock picking. Where to go, where to go, where to go. I suddenly just got a huge fucking craving for pizza. Whoa. That hit me like a fucking freight train. Booga boogala 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 boogala. I found the shitter. Whoa! No teleporting, that's cheating. Only I can do that. Alright, I get it. He's dead. Let me move. Cool. I'm just gonna assume I'm going the right way. Pizza time. Is this the right way? I have no idea. It's so fucking confusing. Alright, this was the right way. Put the fucking... Get on the ground. Oh, shit. Fucking fool. Damn, don't talk about Taco Bell. I could eat some of that, too. At least pizza I have relatively easy access to. Taco Bell, I'm fucked.
Time to die!
You were gonna use a grenade? Get on the fucking ground. This is ridiculous. I'm kicking their asses. Oh, this is just sensor modules. I was making sure there wasn't, like, useful shit there. Stealth boy, that's useful. Oh, hello? Oh, there was a bomb over there. I'm glad I moved. There we go. This is still the right way, right? Yes. All right, here we go. Lock picking. But put 25 and then more into speech, yeah. Alright, I can no longer put points into that one other perk I'd been using. So now it's time for something different. I might just get Bloody Mess. You know what? Bloody Mess it is. Did I ever enjoy the classic Fallouts? Honestly, no. I've tried a couple times to get into the original first Fallout. I didn't grow up with that style of game, so it's really hard to get into. I usually don't get very far into it. Most of my Fallout knowledge for 1 and 2 comes from just reading the Fallout Bible and shit on the wiki. They're just too old. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. I appreciate the aesthetics and the plot and all that shit. Bloody Mess the fucking cockroach. Hello, bro. Hello, how you doing? Explode! Explode! Damn it. Explode, bitch! I want you to burst into treats! Fuck! I don't get what I want. Never get what I want. So what's my goal in here? Get the Gek. Okay, I just gotta find... Really, I gotta find Fox.
Now try and hide from this.
Oh, this guy's fucking me up. Not anymore. Bitch! Bitch fucker. I did a pretty cool attack on the dish. I'm losing the accent. That was pretty cool. Okay, Fox is around here.
No more games. Time to die.
Fucking... Get the hell out of here. You remember Fox won't go in a death zone for you? Not true. Not if you have, what was it, Cold Steel? Or whatever the fuck it's called. If you have the DLC that's meant to let you play after the ending, he will go in there. That got addressed because people complained, hey, this is fucking stupid. Broken Steel, that's what it was. People complain, hey, this is a fucking stupid massive plot hole and a total cop-out. And they're like, yeah, you know what, you're right. And then they fixed, there it is. And then they fixed it. He's passive-aggressive about it. I don't remember him being passive-aggressive. Where is he? I thought he was around here.
No more games. Time to die.
Fuck. Hey! Watch it. Rad X, Stim Pack. Do some shit on the table here. Can you move? Rad X. Can I just pick lock it? Fuck. Pick lock? Lock pick.
You have to come out sooner or later.
It's Pride Month.
Gotcha.
Ah, here we go.
No more games. Time to die.
Yeah? Look, you have to come out sooner or later. Take the ammo. Take that and that, I guess. Fuck it. It's here. Fuck a centaur. Fuck a centaur. Urgh. Status check. Okay. Oh. Where are you, Fox? I know you're around here somewhere. You're in here. Yes! No! You're not Fox! Get the fuck out of here. Baker. Oh, I'm not reading that. Oh, 3 stems. There's a bunch of rad meds. Oh.
Over there. Please, come speak to me. I'm in the room to your left. Oh, use the intercom next to the window. It can't be. Either you are quite real. I am going quite mad. Could you actually be a pure human?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Forgive me. I'm not used to pleasantries. I'm more used to grunts and being struck about by the others. My name's Fox. I've lived in this cage all my life.
Wow.
Yes. I suppose it is. When my captors placed me here, they were too stupid to realize this room contained a working terminal. I've spent all my life teaching myself to read and speak based on the information stored on the vault's mainframe. Ironic, isn't it? Yeah? Surrounded by the world's history, and yet my world consists of this tiny room.
Love Wes Johnson. Wes Johnson's a fucking OG.
Because I'm a curiosity, an anomaly. They don't know why I'm different than they are, and I think it fascinates them. All the locked rooms in the medical wing contain failed experiments that they created. Perhaps. I assume you're here to find the Gek.
Gek.
I know what it is. I know where it is. And best of all, I know how you can get your hands on it.
Oh. Why would you help me?
Because you can help me. Let me out of this place. I can't take it anymore. I can't even recall how long I've been here. Take me with you, and I'll retrieve the Gek for you.
It's almost time. Okay, yeah.
The chamber in which the Gek resides is absolutely flooded with radiation. It's unlikely you'd survive very long. Myself, on the other hand, have surprisingly inherited a useful trait from my fellow meta-humans.
Meta-human.
Resistant to radiation. Let me out of here, and I will place the Gek safely in your hands.
Alright.
At the end of the hallway, inside, you'll find the fire control. Oh, a word of warning, though. So,
Okay, you got a deal.
glad to see you are a sensible person. Now, get me out of this place. I can't stand it anymore.
Alright.
It is mine.
Okay, alright. Awesome. I just gotta find these fire controls he's talking about. He said at the end of the hall, right? Was it down the... No, that's where it came from. Down the end of this hall? I know. No, not this way. Where did I come? No, I came from that way. Okay, it's in here. I had to come down here because when I get back to this, I didn't want to like forget what I was doing and where to go. All right, here's where I'll save it. Here's where I'll stop. All right, we're gonna do very quick credits and then we're gonna do our raid. All right. Let me get the credits running real fucking fast here. All right. Probably, honestly, I think I honestly might just get right back to this tomorrow. Probably closer to like 3 o'clock my usual time tomorrow. So if you want to see the end, that'll be tomorrow, I think. And then I think next week I'll try to... Next week I will try to get the crystal clear. Something's like... There's like... God is trying to stop me from playing it. So, we'll see. Alright, very, 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 very fast credits here. Let me think. Smakus for 13 months, Honeybee Friend for 7 months, Nedemia 5 months, Necromancer of a Big Pit 4 months. Terry Staxidermy, 3 months. Pippi Caddy with a gift sub. Adriotes with 15 months. Anonymous gift sub. Emmy Tessie Toby, 8 months. Sarah Murphy, 17 months. Petroflume, 24 months. Secker Ran, 24 months. Hungamondo, 18 months. Total Madness, 18 months. Freeman's Mind, episode 27, 20 months. Another Net Cable with the raid. Sarkanoth with a gift sub. And then 5 anonymous gift subs. Bam! Okay, cool. Great. Awesome. Here we fucking go. Raid Polygon. Alright. Thank you very much for coming to this random ass stream today. I had a fucking blast. Fallout 3 is so much fun. Polygon, no message, partly because they have a follower sub only, follower only chat. Don't need to be going in there spamming the chat. Check them out. In about 3 minutes, Wayne and Scorpy will be on their Evil Dead segment. They're raising money for Trans Lifeline. Check it out. Donate if you want. Donate if you can. And enjoy your time. Shout out to everyone over there at Polygon that's doing that. It's awesome. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you guys with the next stream. Bye-bye.